Transforming your life through hypnotherapy has never been easier. With the help of your host, Julie from coachinghypnosis.net, and these power-packed minisodes, you're sure to find yourself engaging in more positive behaviors around both your physical and mental health. Here's your host, Julie.
G'day, it's Julie from coachinghypnosis.net, and you deserve to know the one public speaking hypnosis perk for 2022, because people are sick of being a guru of wisdom and dreading life at the same time. I'm not a therapist or psychotherapist, but this is my 9th year as a clinical hypnotherapist in strategic psychotherapy. I help my clients online. They change their life without changing out of their pajamas. And maybe in the past you've had a fear of public speaking, but it really has nothing to do with you. There's a process to it. And doing things you're afraid of is just crazy. Your poor heart, blood pressure, adrenal glands, but knowing you can do something, knowing how to do it, that's different. And you can still tremble and have a quiver in your voice, but know you belong there. And deep down in all of us humans, we recognize this, whether it's the nervous groom at a wedding, expressing his love, or the young person who's just lost a parent and has to give a eulogy at a funeral. We recognize the honesty. We are inherently patient and just listen. In fact, we forgive most of the grammatical errors and we smile and wait however long it takes until what is needed to be said has been said. And the truth is, when you give your talk in public, you might excite some people and you may move people to boredom or even tears, or some might only at best find it mildly interesting. But what if out of the hundreds or thousands of people, there's only one person who truly needs to hear what you have to say? And I don't know if it will be the man wearing dark green in the front row, or the old fellow who's smiling, or the woman up the back. But what I do know is it's imperative you reach this one person, for it's like ripples in a pond. Through them, your words might work miracles. And it might have nothing to do with your speech, but your words might excite the imagination, start a rolling stone, and something so much more than that. They could dream something that could come to fruition. And because you respect people, people respect you, and you respect yourself, and people can sense your goodwill. You are sincere and honest, and when you meet people in the future, I just wonder if you'll begin to really notice that you listen when people speak, and in return, they return that feeling to you. Whether you're speaking to one person, two, or a few, your attention is externally focused on them. And when there's nothing for you or anyone to say, you simply are yourself, glowing with honesty or sympathy or concern. In fact, you're so comfortable with people that people begin to express their true opinions because your lips move easily when you only say a few words with sincerity. The fact is, there is a pivotal moment. You're there to answer people's questions and answers. You're there for the people. And when you can't answer your audience's questions, you love to say, I don't know, but I'll find out and get back to you. And it reminds me of learning hypnosis and hearing stories about Australia's 29th Prime Minister, Malcolm Turnbull, from someone who used to work for the government at that time. It turns out his staff was so impressed by him and his modern ways of doing things that even when he didn't know the answer, he would immediately pick up the phone and call a friend, whether or not it was some telco in the United Kingdom or somewhere else, to give his staff members all the answers that they needed. The fact is, if you're giving a talk, people don't even mind if you use your mobile phone in a meeting to phone a friend to get an answer. In fact, they love the freedom you express because you really listen and you're there for your audience. And I don't know if you've ever been to the ballet. There's a solo artist who all the women want to be, and then there's a quarter ballet. And if you were to watch a ballet class full of small children, like the age of about 5 years old, you would notice all the children sit on top of each other. For example, you sit on the floor to mark the roll and take a roll call, and they sit almost on top of you and each other. They have no idea of personal space, and these tiny children, in their beautiful skirts and ribbons and leotards, have to learn personal space. And I don't know if you watched the Royal Jubilee, but I'm confident it took ages and lots of rehearsals to get everyone to not only stand in a straight line, but equally distanced apart. In fact, with ballet, you can ask the most advanced ballerina around the age of a teenager if they'd like to perform a ballet solo. And if they want to, they still kinda don't know how to take up the entire stage all by themselves. They don't know how to travel from one corner to the other with large steps or small steps. It takes a lot to fill the space. But there are some fabulous spiritual leaders out there who have no problems pacing the length of the stage, like evangelists. In fact, the motivational speaker, Anthony Robbins, paces the space almost like a rock star. And then there was Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. She wouldn't even use a gesture. So still, in perfect pronunciation. Every word and tempo, so deliberate, so perfectly constructed, so consuming. But all of these styles seem so normal, so natural to all of these people. But if you connect with the room, really devote 100% of your attention to the room, because when you're sincere and honest, your attention's on the audience, and you just don't know if it will be that frowning woman in the front, the man standing up the back, or the mother with a crying baby who really hears you. And you speaking will speak volumes, just like ripples in a pond, in your ever-present attention. Your audience will respect that, and in return, they'll respect you. But from one public speaker to another, here's the one public speaking hypnosis perk for 2022. If it gets nasty and someone heckles you, which it won't happen, but if it did, you take a small step to your right. And anytime someone challenges your opinion, you take a small step to your right. You answer their question with honesty, something like, I don't know, and I'll get back to you, speaking from a place of respect, and then step back to where you were. And if you can't step to the right, you can use a hand gesture with your right hand. And the reason why professional speakers do this is you carve out an invisible, naughty corner. You carve out a piece of negative space on the stage that you step into to address the issue. But the big thing is you then step away from the naughty corner to continue your speech. And isn't it wonderful to know that when you come from a place of knowing what you're doing, how you can feel differently about speaking from a place of honest integrity? So what if you thought about public speaking hypnosis differently? But what if you didn't? The choice is yours.